Hello, welcome to Transits Fridays. Let's talk about what are the main planetary transits of this week. How can we use it constructively? Because this is constructive astrology. So it's all about building the life that you want to live rather than fear-mongering and blaming the planets for everything that goes wrong. Okay, so let's look at the transits as opportunities. And for this week, we're mainly going to be talking about Saturn moving direct. I think this is the biggest one that we're going to be witnessing this week. And then we're also going to see a couple of planets shifting signs as well. So those are the main movements that we're going to discuss in this video. So let's have a look at the chart for this moment. Here we are. And also let me know in the comments how this week has been for you. So this is this is the week of the full moon eclipse, or like right after the full moon eclipse. How did that eclipse go for you? What happened? I mean, for me, that eclipse was very smooth, except on Monday, a couple of days after, when my laptop actually broke. And it was very stressful. And the eclipse did happen on my daily job house. So it happened in my sixth house. And it was very an emotional roller coaster for 3 days until I actually had to get a new one. And it was like 3 days I couldn't work, and it was very stressful for someone that has a lot of planets in the 10th house. Anyway, you let me know how you're doing, what's going on for you. And here we have the chart of today. So for today, really, Friday, the 3rd of November, there's just this Sun opposite Jupiter that I want to mention. So something good for opening your perspective, opening the horizon, seeing what are the other possibilities, and etc. So that's something that is very growth driven, because whenever we have Jupiter, there's that sense of expansion and growth. So we could use that energy this day now. It's a bit of a fleeting energy as well. I would say tomorrow is also a little bit, even though we will be gone from the exact degree, but it's still going to be here in the air for us to tap into. So something about growth, seeing the bigger perspective, seeing where we can add something into our lives as well with that Jupiter in Taurus, and where can we improve things, perhaps. That's another way of looking at it. Now, what I'm really interested in is tomorrow. So this is the 4th of November. That's the day that Saturn will be turning direct after like 5 months as being retrograde. So this is a big one. Now, whenever a planet shift direction like this, there's something powerful that we feel. There's something powerful that's happening around us as well. And honestly, I think my laptop breaking down has something to do with Saturn in my case, because of the transits I'm having. So Saturn is being opposing my planets in the 10th house. And when I found out that Saturn is turning direct, I was like, Saturn throws challenges our way. There's something about overcoming. There's something about creating a sense of solidity through working through challenges, to getting, ahead slowly and putting the effort as well. So there's something about gaining more character by dealing with difficulties, with challenges, which I think represents a lot of what Saturn is about. And especially when we're having a Saturn transit as well. So Saturn moving direct will trigger any Saturnian, issues that we might be having, that we might be going through. Whichever house that Saturn is in your chart will be important. And for you to have a better idea, to have more clarity here, what and when this cycle has been going on. So Saturn went direct in June 17th. 23, and it was a 7 degrees Pisces. So now we have Saturn turning direct at 0 degrees Pisces. So it went from 7 to 0. So if you have anything between 0 and 8 degrees of the mutable signs, so that's Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, then that's very powerful and very powerfully personal to you, because it's activating something that's very personal, that's very important in your psyche, in your life. Okay, so it's really important to weave into your chart, find what house that Saturn is, find what planets this Saturn is activating in your chart, etc. So you can translate it a little bit more. You can go deeper into your translation. Like I said before, no matter how much I can give you insight with general readings, no matter how much I do that, there's always more that you can get from it. There's always more. There's always more depth that you can dive into by knowing your personal chart, by knowing your personal degrees and etc. So that's the note here for you. But with Saturn, is always going to be that sense of maturing, that getting older, becoming more responsible, having to take responsibility as well. So find out where that house is. Write down in the comments as well if you need any help translating and understanding that Saturn. But in my experience, when a planet is stationing to move directions, it becomes a kind of hot spot. There's something really strong that's happening in our lives that really has something to do with that archetype, with that energy, with that theme. And we can really see it and we can work with it if we know about it. So the more we know about it, the more we can work with these energies creatively, right? The more we can ride those waves. So this is what I have to say here. So find out, think about it, where that Saturn is, what's going on for you, and how this plays out now, Friday, and tomorrow as well, because the stationing is quite powerful, you know, while it's stationing. So this is definitely a powerful transit of this week. But there are a couple of other things that I want to say as well. And in fact, let me go back to Saturday, to the 4th. So at the same time that we have Saturn moving direct, we will also have a Venus opposition Pluto, Neptune. Oh my God, what's going on with me? So annoying. Okay, so Venus will be in opposition to Neptune. And I think that energy will be also very present in the air. It could be a beautiful energy to work with art, with do something creative, with writing something, with doing some sort of like charitable work and etc. But it could be a challenging day around boundaries. Okay, just a heads up, so you are aware of that. You might be feeling a little bit more touched, a little bit more sensitive, and it might be a little bit harder to separate from others, because I think that's the Venus Neptune, you know, Venus is very idealistic as well when it's with Neptune like that. So it could be confusions around relationships as well. And why I'm saying this as well is for you to navigate these energies, okay? It's for you to know what to expect and navigate them. Because every transit will be a color, will be a specific flavor in nature. You know what I mean? Like there's no good or bad. There are different stages of life's development, and there are different flavors, but it's not really bad or good. So we need to remove that label. You know, that's how I like to work, is removing the good or bad label. Okay, so let's move on to the rest of the week and have a look at the planetary ingresses that I wanted to share. So the first one is and mind you, for all of these days, it's just the moon sort of moving. And I mean, we have a Mercury opposite Uranus on the weekend as well. So at the same time that we have Venus Neptune, we have Mercury Uranus. Mercury Uranus can be very insightful. We can also have some insights throughout, you know, during the weekend, and something about our process, our individuation, our growth that we might become more aware of, or a need to speak up, and you know, something about our minds there that will be a little bit faster during this weekend, so we can use that as well to our benefit. But what I really want to talk about next is Venus moving to Libra. So we have Venus ingressing Libra on the 8th of November. So that's going to be on Wednesday. So Venus is entering the sign that rules, is a little bit more comfortable than in Virgo, and it brings another element here to our cosmic weather, let's put it that way. And I think, you know, it's sort of communicating with that South Node as well. So I think it will be revisiting, teaching, showing us, you know, the stuff about past relationships, the feeling of that, you know, saying yes, compromising, the balance, etc. Our aesthetic senses might be enhanced as well with this Venus in Libra sort of time. Great time to do your beauty things, you know, have a haircut and things like that. I mean, they do say haircuts is usually really good to look at the moon as well, not just Venus. But Venus is about beautifying. So it's a great time to beautify some things, to add some things to your life, to your wardrobe, or, you know, anything like that. And the following ingress that we're going to look at is next Friday. So Friday the 10th, we're going to have Mercury moving to Sagittarius. It's kind of the kickstart, is the beginning of the moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius, because Mercury moves faster. So, you know, the other planets will follow a little bit after. But is a Mercury in Sag is a little bit restless, more interested in opening the horizon. You know, we had that Mercury in Scorpio. We were really going down into the depths of whatever was going on for us. So now with Mercury in Sagittarius, I think there's a shift in where our thoughts are going to be, and how, you know, we can use this sort of intellectual energy, you know, exploring different possibilities. I like to think in that way when we think about Sagittarius. But at the same time, as it ingresses into Sag, we have this square with Saturn as well. So Saturn is a 0 Pisces. So I think there is a kind of a day where we might see some of that Saturnian big lessons that we're learning already play out. It's going to be triggered. There's going to be news. There's going to be something. There's going to be a challenge in communication, perhaps, that will be connected with the growth and the things that we are learning in connection to the Saturn transit. And why am I mentioning that is about the Saturn? Is there's a basic rule in astrology. The slowest moving planet will have the upper hand, okay? The fast moving planet is a little bit fleeting when it comes to transits. So it doesn't have as much as an upper hand. So Saturn is definitely, it definitely has the upper hand here with the square to Mercury. So it will still be about our Saturn transits. So remember, whatever happens on Saturday, today, Friday, and Saturday as well, will give us the lead on what the message, what the communication challenge will be about on the following Friday. All right. So let's keep an eye on that. And at the same time, we have Mars coming to square that Uranus. So very restless energy, I would say. So with that Mercury and Sag as well, I would say, beware not to say things that you might regret, you know, not to take action that you might regret as well, because there is a tendency to be a little bit impulsive when we have a Mars Uranus in the sky like that. It's an energy that's a little bit combustible and and a little bit sudden and unpredictable as well. So just navigate that energy there. Beware, you know, use it to your benefit. Try to channel these energy in different ways. There's a great way to do things on your own, for example, if you can, even though we have a moon and a Venus in Libra. But I think that Mars Uranus requires a lot of independency and self reliance and autonomy as well, in a way. All right. So this is it for the transits of this week and Saturn moving direct. And please let me know in the comments, how are you going to be dealing with a Saturn energy? Do you see Saturn in your chart? Do you know where it is? What's going on with this energy? Let me know. I'm very curious. I would love to hear from you. And I'll be seeing you all next week, I guess. Bye-bye now. Take care, you all.